does that guy shit the bed. Whoa. How you doing? All right. The NFL schedule came out. Whoa! Man, did you see that Philadelphia plate of games that you got to run through? Whoa! Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Are you ready, everyone? Xander, wait a minute. Whoa! Oh, wait. I got to pucker up a bit here because that schedule's a little bit frosty. Hey, man, get this. As much as that division in the NFC sucks, you still got to run through some great teams, and there's a stretch of ball games that you got to get through. You ain't taking on Davis Mills and Kenny Pickett. What other stiffs did you? What is it? Cooper Rush. You got a bunch of dudes right in consecutive weeks. Whoa. You're going to be ready to rock and roll here. We're going to look at the schedule here in a minute. Ton of stuff to hit on. You know, before I look at the schedule, though, you tell me if this is true. I wrote this down after I saw that schedule last night. I don't give a shit how much Jalen Hurts makes. All the goodwill here on May 12th, you know, everyone's feeling good, running around the picnic bench. Everyone's in love. Sean Desai, Brian Johnson yesterday, meeting the media. Everyone's giving high fives. Everything's going great. Draft choices, look, everything, right? 2023 is going to define Jalen Hurts and how you think of him. Because you know why? You're playing people. You're going to be matched up against some of the elite dudes in the league. Remember the exercise we had yesterday? Hate to say this to Eagle fans, the lesser team won the Super Bowl. You may have a better roster, but you're going to be in games this year where you don't have the better quarterback. Or you may. That's why I say 2023 defines this guy and how we're going to look at him. Because you know why? With that schedule, you're lining up against pretty much all the big dogs. Philadelphia struggles against Dak, 8-3, 7-1 since 2017. You got to get through Dak first. We're better than the Cowboys. You were better than Kansas City. And you still lost. We had the number 2 defense. Yeah, Mahomes ate it up with Reed in the second half. Oh, you play that guy again. How you doing? Jalen Hurts is going to be defined this year by the big dogs. Oh, yeah. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. Shit, week 1, you're 3-point favorites against Mac Jones. You're a superior team to the Patriots. And by the way, how about the NFL taking a gigantic shit on the Eagles? You open up on the road? I thought you won the NFC. Shouldn't you get rewarded for that? You're going to have the toughest schedule in the NFL, but they put the NFC champions on the road? And Brady's in the house. Now, you know, they're honoring him. But Brady's in the house. Okay. Hey, holy shit. This is going to define your boy. Shows he got the contract. I know Wentz got the contract. How'd that thing work out? Yeah, but he's a different guy. Okay, I get it. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. He's a better player. Well, I don't know so much that. The year after the Super Bowl, you gave him the contract too, and, you know, he had an MVP type season. He finished second like your boy. Actually, he's got a ring. Jalen doesn't. And he was instrumental in that ring. And again, I'm not going to go back and litigate that. Who's better, who's not. You know, your guy's got 1 year under his belt, so I don't want to litigate anything. You really can't. That schedule's going to define this guy. Man, I can't wait. Wow. I cannot wait for this year. No stiffs on that schedule, baby. How you doing? How are you doing? Hey, last year, this guy's making plays against, is it Davis Mills? Is that the guy's name for the Texans? What's the other stiff? Oh, Ryan Tannehill. I mean, there were Andy Dalton. I mean, there were just some mountain of guys that you guys played last year. I mean, seriously. And then when you played good quarterbacks, they crushed you. Well, we beat the Cowboys. No, you beat Cooper Rush. Dak ate your ass up, like I said yesterday. Man, this is going to be interesting. Hey, what do you mean Brock Purdy, man? I told you yesterday, the 49ers aren't they're not your biggest concern. It's the Cowboys. Cowboys are 8-3 under Dak against the Eagles. As I said, 7-1 since 2017. You got to beat that guy because you can't. And you haven't. That's the team you have to concern yourself with. Get through Dallas. San Francisco will be waiting for you at Lincoln Financial if you get through Dallas. We're the better team. Doesn't really matter. You lost to the better team in the Super Bowl. Actually, you were the better team and you lost to a lesser team in the Super Bowl, to be accurate. The Chiefs are not better than you. Their quarterback is. How you doing? Seahawks. The Seahawks with Geno. Sorry, man. For some reason, I'm not sitting here thinking, I think Geno's going to. By the way, I think that's a road trip too, isn't it? Going to Seattle? 12th man? That's a pretty tough trip. A lot of people that go up to that place lose ball games up there. How you doing? Toughest schedule. Last year you had the weakest. This year you have the toughest. Now your guy Jalen Hurts, man, he's going to be asked to be elite. Not just good, but elite. He ain't elite yet. You know what elite means to me? Consistently great every year like Mahomes. Hey, Josh Allen's got to do that. Joe Burrow, last 2 years, has been to 2 AFC championship games. He's getting there. He's building. He's further ahead than Jalen is right now. And plus, it's a shitty culture in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a place where the owner has a zipper on the wallet. You got to remember that. Cincinnati. The only thing they have there is chili. They have football teams. Geno Smith, you're going to throw at Big Sills? Okay. I'd rather have you throw Chicken Wing Purdy at me. Yeah. Hey, and dude, the one thing I'll say to you about Kyle Shanahan one more time about that 49er crying. Dude, you know that movie, The Crying Game? They should watch that, the entire organization, The Crying Game, because that's the theme of the San Francisco 49ers, is the crying game. From now on, that NFC title game that we saw in January will be known as the crying game. Okay? I mean, hey, man, if we played with 10 guys and Dumbo Samuel still moaning about it, we only played with 10 guys. Well, it's called a football play. When the opposing team kills your quarterback because your incompetent coach can't protect his quarterback, it's called a football play. Hitting, tackling. Kyle Shanahan, most overhyped coach in the NFL. And the only reason he's in the NFL is because of nepotism. Last name Shanahan. How you doing? Anyway, we're going to look at the schedule here in a minute. And by the way, we understand this, that in October, this whole thing could change with injuries. But we look at it right now here on May 12th and how you line up. I think me looking at the schedule here, I would say this. By the way, you're not favored in the Jets game. Oh, really? The Jets, who haven't been to the playoffs in 12 years, are favored as of now, according to the guys in Atlantic City and the guys in Vegas. The Jets? The Jets. Jody's probably like, yeah, the Jets, Sills. Fireman Ed. Now Aaron Rodgers and Joe Namath. Congratulations. How about that too, man? Look at the impact that Aaron Rodgers has made on the Jets already. 6 primetime games. Put them on Monday night, and the Eagles open up on the road against the Patriots. How you doing? How you doing? Let's look at this, man. By the way, I guess Jeff Bezos must have cried because there's some pretty good Thursday night ball games. So I guess he must have cried to the NFL. This is shit. This is no good. I don't like what's going on. There's some pretty boss games that are going to be on Thursday night. Okay? Yeah. Hey, look, I'm just saying, your boy, man. Look at those road games that the Eagles have this year. Oh, man, this is going to be an iconic content year. That's my prediction in Philly. Can they weather through it? Let's get through it now. Let's get to it here. Yeah, let's get to it. Patriots home opener, a 425 game. That's the first game of the year. Tom Brady's being honored. They send your ass on the road. You're 3-point favorites in that ball game. Are you better? Yeah. Is your quarterback better? Yeah. Is your coach? Absolutely not. And by the way, would we not agree how appropriate this worked out? So Matt Patricia's now on the Eagle coaching staff, and you open up against the Patriots. I don't know. You know me, I'm a big conspiracy guy. But Matt Patricia is on the Eagle. He's on the Eagle coaching staff. I think he is. And you open up against New England. Okay. I get it. Sure. Yeah. Okay, hey. New England, Bill O'Brien now up there. It's no longer Belichick and a cast of fools that are now the OC. Do I think the Eagles win this game? I do. You should. Home opener for the Patriots is against the NFC champion, Philadelphia Eagles. Could you make it a more difficult game, though, for Jalen? Bill Belichick is probably chopping tape up right now how to stop the RPO. The greatest coach in the history of the National Football League he has to contend against. And by the way, his forte is defense. That game will be tougher than you think. Okay? You open up with that. Then you turn around and you've got the Kirk Cousins Vikings. Brian Flores, another disciple on defense. Gee, isn't this working out with Matt Patricia being on your – dude, I don't know about you guys, but how is this working out that you had Patricia on your coaching staff in the first 2 games are against guys he worked with and for? Bill Belichick in week 1 and then Brian Flores, who's the defensive coordinator now in Minnesota. And Patricia knows all these guys. I don't know. Yeah. Okay? JM, Hurts isn't playing Shula, the actual greatest coach. Sorry, JM. I love that Belichick cheated. I love that Belichick had gamesmanship. I'm glad that you think he cheated. As far as I'm concerned, it's gamesmanship. You have to walk into a stadium always with the pretense of knowing that Belichick may be doing something shady. I've already won. Before you get off the bus. Hey, are the headphones working? Wait a minute. Somebody's bugging the coach's booth. Wait, how come the lockers aren't right? How come the towels are too stiff? Oh, man, it's great. I love that shit. I do. Kudos to the Patriots for always making you think that these guys are running a scam on you. I think it's one of the greatest things of all time. It's what the Raiders used to do. The Patriots are the modern-day Al Davis Raiders. Make you think before you get off the bus. What are they doing now? Oh, they're winning. Belichick did nothing without Brady. Parcells did nothing without Belichick. You want to play the game? I can too. Name me one Super Bowl. Or name me one Super Bowl Bill went to that Belichick wasn't on the coaching staff. Can you? You can't. Because it hasn't happened. Bill Belichick, every Super Bowl championship that they won in New York was the DC, and he was on that staff. And even when he got fired in Cleveland, he became a special assistant to the head coach when Belichick took that Patriot team to the Super Bowl against the Green Bay Packers. Every Super Bowl that he went to, Bill was on the staff. How you doing? Shula did it with less pieces. Really? Hall of Fame wide receiver in Paul Warfield. Hall of Fame running back in Larry Zonka. Hall of Fame running back, quarterback in Bob Greasy. Hall of Fame center in Langer. Hall of Fame guard in Little. So 5 guys of the 11 on offense were in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Did it with less. Those guys are wearing gold jackets. What are you talking about? Yeah, he did it with less. And I always bring this up to you. Name me one Hall of Famer they won a Super Bowl with in New England. Name me one Hall of Famer. Gronk? Who else? In 21 years, name me one Super Bowl that they won with a Hall of Famer outside of Gronkowski. One. One on offense. Again, name me one guy on offense outside of Gronk that won a Super Bowl. That's a Hall of Famer. Okay? He didn't. There's only one. 21 years. One guy. So he did it with less. You mean Belichick did it with less? So you think that game in New England's going to be an easy one? Oh, no. Oh, no, man. You better pucker up. How you doing? Yeah. The Vikings, I think you get these guys. I mean, come on, man. Then you get the greatness of Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. So right there, you're 3-0. I'm sorry, but I'm going to do something that is going to be probably a little bit looked at differently. You get the skins on Game 4. Commanders, Warriors. Kiss my ass. Okay, I'm sick of it. You get the skins in Week 4. You're probably 4-0 here. Then again, Washington has Eric Bieniemy now. Better team. Still, who's the quarterback, right? Who's the QB? At the Rams. I don't know. Well, I know Sean McVay's a 10-time better coach. And I would take Raheem Morris, too, over your DC. So the coaching is better in Los Angeles with the Rams. The quarterbacks won a Super Bowl, even though I would never call Matthew Stafford elite. The wide receiver is great, I guess, with Cooper Kupp. Aaron Donald's a great pass rusher. I don't know. Jalen Ramsey's no longer in the secondary. I think you go in there and win that ball game, too. Holy shit, look at this. Eagles are out to another strong start, man. Then you go to the land of Jody McDonald, MetLife, and you take on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. Woo! Joe Douglas, former executive. How you doing? So wait a minute here. Look at this. There's a W, 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 5-0. Damn. Looking good. You're underdogs in that game. Only 3 on the schedule, probably. I think Aaron Rodgers, I think this game here, I would pick the Jets to win this game at home. You know why? That defense and that secondary and those no linebackers. Aaron Rodgers is going to kill that team. There's an elite quarterback. You don't play well against elite quarterbacks. Right there, baby. I'm going to put an L there. So now you're 5-1. Just looking at it here from 30,000 feet here. Then you got the Dolphins. It is at home. Sunday Night Football. Jalen Waddle versus your secondary, along with Tyreek Hill. This is all going to be whether or not Tua's standing up or not. It's the battle between Tua and Jalen Hurts. We did last year. We beat Rodgers last year. Yeah, I know. It's a different ball team. It's a better team than what the Packers are. The Packers are going to finish in last place in the NFC North this year. They don't have talent on that offense. You know what? That's why they're pumping the brakes on all Packer fans. Hey, Jordan Love. Jordan Love. Really? So you go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. Good luck. Jordan Love. Okay. Jesus criminy. Hey, welcome to the land of not being relevant anymore. Yeah. You're back into the land of Lynn Dickey quarterback in the Packers. Yeah. That era of like nobodies. Magic Man. Lynn Dickey. That's where you're back in the land of. That's where the Packers are going to be. Packers got one of the toughest schedules in the NFL, too. Good luck. That team won't win 5 games this year. Dolphins, I think you beat the Dolphins. That's going to be a difficult ball game. But you know what you're starting to look at now? You're starting to look at Stretch as a pretty decent quarterback. So you go from Rodgers to Tua. Hey, one thing we learned about Tagovailoa last year, I'll say this to you. He can play. It's just a matter of whether or not he can play every week. He can play. He's accurate. He can play. You hold your breath when it comes to his availability. Nope. The reason they gave him the contract extension, and Chris Greer gave him that, rightfully so, was because the kid can play. It's all about availability with Tagovailoa. Tua's not bad, man. Hey, Tua can beat you. And Tua's got a lot to prove because you know what everyone's saying? Here's what Tua's saying. Damn, Jalen got the extension, and I got the option picked up. He's behind him. Jalen's pulled ahead of Tua Tagovailoa. He's pulled ahead of him. Jalen has. Okay, he has. He's pulled ahead of him. And so he's going to want to play his ass off in this ball game. Then you got the skins that you're building. You guys are going to split with Washington. You always do. So this will be an L. So right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2. Heading into Dallas, baby. And Dak is back. Heading into Dallas, 425, first week in November. Lincoln Financial, right before the bye week. You got the Dallas Cowboys And Dak Prescott, who's 7-1 in the last 8 ball games against the Eagles, who last year was 78% against your number 2 ranked defense, and you're lesser this year of a defense than you were last year. What do you think happens? You're going to split. Pick one. You're going to split with the Cowboys. You're not. I think you're going to split. I don't believe Dallas beats you two times this year. I do not believe that. I do not. Okay? So do you want to have the loss at home? Nah, I can't give you the loss at home. No way. I'm giving you the win at home. Giving you the win at home. You can't lose at home in front of your fans, the Cowboys. Shit. What kind of defending NFC champion would you be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're 7-2. Shit. You're 7-2 heading into the bye. Damn. Dude, if you look at it then, how many games have you lost in the regular season in the last 2 years heading into the bye? Now we get into a tad bit of a stretch. Monday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead. No way. No way. No way. Not a chance the Eagles beat the Chiefs. The first game, 2 years ago, they ran the ball for 250 yards on you. Last year, they had a lesser team and took you apart in the second half. Not a happening. There's an L. Now you're 7-3. Still great. Probably still leading the conference. I would say. Then you get Josh Allen. Hey, Josh Allen against that defense. Remember, it's not Josh Allen versus Jalen Hurts. Buffalo's defense is better than yours. It's better. The coach is better. Sean McDermott's better than Nick Sirianni. So, I mean, how do you think Josh Allen's going to do against that defense? We lost 5 of your top tacklers. How do you think Josh Allen does against your defense and your secondary guys? At L. Not bad. Still 7-4. You're making the turn. You're 7-4. Then you get the 49ers in week 13. You get them at your place. And Chicken Wing Purdy should be ready. Ooh, I don't know. Man. Little momentum. This could be I might have to come back to this. I might have to come back to the Niner game. Then after the 49ers, you don't have the Cowboys in Arlington, do you? Well, that's the L game. L. That's 7-5. We'll get back to San Francisco here in a minute. So you're now 7-5. And now you got to go to Seattle. Oh, my God. Look, I think you win that game. That'll be a very tough football game. I think you win that game. So now you're 8-5. Are you still leading the division? And are you still the top team in the NFC record-wise? Probably Dallas is probably sitting right there next to you, and so is San Francisco. I'm going to say you beat Seattle. Now you're 8-5. Hanging in there. Then you got the Gigantes. I think the Giants are going to walk back. I do. I think the Giants are not a good football team. I think they got a really good coach. And the 2 games last year, I thought you systematically took them apart, and the Giants were never in any ball game you played, really. So I got to win here. 9-5. Look at that. Then you got the Jonathan Gannon Cardinals. Jonathan Gannon may be one of the very few coaches in NFL history that's a one-and-done guy. And I'm not talking about dudes going to play for Calipari. He may be a one-and-done guy. Talk about another stiff hire. You win that game. So you're 10-5. Then you got the shitty Giants in the Meadowlands. You're 11-5. Now let's get back to San Francisco. Back to San Francisco. And week 13. Purdy should be in the ballpark. Who's got a better roster? 49ers. Who's got the better quarterback? Eagles. Pretty tough game. It's at home. So I give it to you. I think you end the 2023 season 12-5. And you may be a better team than you were a year ago. Why is that? Because you play tougher guys. That's why I said this year's going to define you. You're not going to win 14, 15 ball games this year. That's not going to happen. However, you're going to be in a gauntlet of games that are going to define Jalen Hurts and this team moving forward offensively and pretty much defensively. Here's the question marks on defense. Are Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter and Fletcher Cox going to be able to hold up against the run? Yet to be determined. You haven't been great at it in 2 years. You have not. You hang out around 16th. Your linebacking core blows dog. And your safety position is still unknown. You're in the land of, what's the famous word you guys use? Potential, which means you haven't done it. The entire heart of your defense has question marks everywhere. Hey, they may answer it to be where they're unstoppable. That could be. But to sit here on May 12th and go, hey, the Eagles have just as good a defense as they did a year ago is preposterous, especially when you're playing against better folks and better coaches and better quarterbacks. You, again, don't look at the record and think this is like college football. How many times do you look at those stiff conferences like Pac-12 or Big Ten? You see an undefeated team and you go, well, that team's great. No, they're not. You put them in the SEC, they're 7-5. They're 7-5. I think the Eagles are going to go 12-5. To me, if they go 12-5 against this schedule, they'll be better than they were a year ago. So based on your predictions, we will have only 2 losses in conference. Should be able to still be the 1 seed. Absolutely. Absolutely, Jameson. That's why that 49er game is important. The 3 most important games this year may be the Seattle game. The 3 most important games for the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2023 season and on this schedule are the 2 Dallas games and the Niner game. Those are your 2. The other ones are for window dressing. Bills, Chiefs. That's for guys like me to have content on. But the games that matter for you to host, the NFC title game at Lincoln Financial, are the 2 Dallas games and the 49er games. If you want to throw Seattle into it, Okay, because you have to go 3,000 miles to play up there. I've played up there. It's hard to play up. It's a difficult trip. Okay? It's a difficult trip. But look at this. And here's something else to think about. Do you answer this question? Do you think this football team, compared to a year ago, has the depth to get through this? First week in November. Actually, let's go back to the Jets game. Do you have enough depth to get through this? Jets, Dolphins, Skins, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills, Niners, Cowboys, Seahawks, Giants. How many games is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. That's a 10-game stretch. There is a bye in week 10 there. Do you have enough depth that you could sustain a loss to your wide? Say you lost, God forbid, you lost Devontae, and you're left with Quez moving into the 2-hole. Okay? Or you have any injuries in your O-line. Can I tell you what I think the most significant injury would be in your O-line? 2. Kelsey and your right guard. Who are you going to put in right guard? Jack Driscoll? Or the new guy you drafted? You're going to put a rookie in there when you got to go down that gauntlet of teams. See, I think the issues with the Eagles this year, there's some good ball players. They're younger. They're actually more athletic, but I don't think you're deep enough. Last year, do you remember what I said? Xander was with me. I said, you have the deepest roster in the National Football League. That's why I made that proclamation you'd get to the Super Bowl. That's why I made that proclamation you'd get there, because you were deeper. By the end of the year, you were the best roster and the deepest. That never collides with one another. That never collides. And here's to Howie Roseman's brilliance. Because of how he constructed that contract, over the next 5-6 years, he's going to be able to still put players on the team. By the way, let's not forget something. June 1 is still coming. He's going to go out and scour, in my opinion, still NFL rosters. Let's not forget how he found Gardner Johnson. Dude, that guy was not an Eagle, but for 9 days out to the start of the season, he found that guy in New Orleans, and he was making $837,000. He makes $8 million now. I think Howie, one of the greatest things that he does, he's great at doing this. Looking at other talent evaluators in the NFL and looking at the bottom half of the roster and going like this. This guy's underutilized. This guy's a good ball player. I liked him coming out of college. I think we can make a move for him. You see, people are catching up to him now. Howie goes to places like Mickey Loomis, New Orleans, John Schneider in Seattle. You find the best talent evaluators and you look at their roster. Tom Telesco, Chargers. He's a good talent evaluator. That's how we found Kaiser White. If you notice, he tried that 49er guy out last year. Why? John Lynch put some pretty good ball players. Outside of the stiff Trey Lance, that's a pretty good-looking roster. Just getting off work. Couldn't wait to log on to the show. The schedule shows the NFL has faith in Jalen's star power and skill. Lucius, yeah. But why would you put that kid on the road against the Patriots? I thought that was a slap in the face. The Eagles should be hosting a home game. But that's okay. I mean, look, there's some – how many star games? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's like 6 really good ball games here that are in prime time. Yeah. Yes. Yes. But the face of the league now this year is Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has 6 premium games. Fly goes like this, the Patriots have no talent. Dude, a Kansas City Chiefs team had lesser talent than you and beat you because of shitty coaching. Shitty coaching and a quarterback beat you. So before you say the Patriots they have better coaching than you, I actually heard an idiot on WIP say that Nick Sirianni's a better coach than Bill Belichick. I mean, seriously, that's one thing you don't get here with Big Sills. We don't pom-pom wave. That's an idiotic comment. Bill Belichick has forgotten more games that he's won that were significant than Nick Sirianni has been in as a head coach. It's a ridiculous comment. Shit, the most experienced guy on the Philadelphia Eagles staff is Matt Patricia. That's why he's been brought in. Look at all the people that you're going to have to deal with that were one time working for Bill. Shit, man. Your first 2 ball games. The D coordinator of Minnesota and Belichick himself. Come on, man. Current Bill? Tony, yes, current Bill. Holy cow. So because Jalen Hurts has the better quarterback, because why? Nick had the play calling duties taken from him with his dumbass play calling when he was 2-5. And you're going to try to sit there and tell me he was some sort of strategist? Congratulations. Your offensive coordinator's your quarterback. How the Eagle offense took off, having trust in Hurts. I disagree with John McMullen. John McMullen tells people that Shane Steichen's the greatest play caller on the planet, or he's one of the best in the league. How can that be? RPO is not play calling. It's designing of scheme. The quarterback's decision-making on each and every single play, whether to keep it, block and release on the tight end, throw it, screen it, is all up to the quarterback. That's not pre-snap decision-making. What they have done with Jalen Hurts is taken progression reading out of the offense. There's no progression reading in offense. That's RPO. Like, Jalen doesn't have to sit back there. They do have play designs for that. But Hurts is not going to sit back in a 9-step and he's going to sit there and progression read. RPO, it's counterproductive to RPO. You don't have reads except the safety, the linebacker, on whether to keep it or run. And he's the best at it. He is absolutely, tell you this, like I said, I think he's a better decision maker on the field and better general of that than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. He's one of. I told you this before too. When they were constructing and having those Wildcats, they could never find a guy who could throw the ball. Jalen is the best passer of the football in a Wildcat type scheme maybe I've seen ever. That's why the Eagles are paying him $51 million. Jalen Hurts is not a 4,500-yard passing guy a year. Jalen Hurts is going to beat you with situational decision-making each and every single game. Whether to throw it, run it, what have you. The versatility in the Eagle offense, that's what makes them special. There's 2 things that make the Eagles special. Hurts' decision-making and that O-line. That's why the Eagles invest big equity draft picks in that offensive line. And what did Jimmy Johnson say last week on this program? He said the most important coach that's on any coaching staff is your offensive line coach. I don't care about a D-line coach. I don't care about a quarterback coach. I don't care about a linebacker coach. He said that Jeff Stoutland and Bill Callahan in Cleveland, you think there's any coincidence that the Browns have the second best O-line coach in the NFL in Bill Callahan? Bill Callahan is now with Deshaun Watson. The biggest hire is not Kevin Stefanski. It's Bill Callahan. That's why the Browns are going to be good, because they have the second best O-line coach in the NFL. That's a fact. Every throw Jalen makes, you expect a completion. Best decision maker, who cares? That's right, Eagle, completely. And what is great about the Eagle offense, especially against a schedule like this, you know what makes it great? Jalen Hurts is not going to look at numbers. Jalen Hurts is going to look at situational decision-making. You see, situational play calling is what got the Buffalo Bills in trouble with Ken Dorsey and Josh Allen. Situational decision-making is what runs the Eagle offense. Shane Steichen has jack to do with that. Now, they customized an offense, and the trust they had in Hurts, it's twofold. So here, let me give you the better example of this. Let me give you the better example of why this thing here, when Hurts got hurt and they tried to do the RPO system and they had play calling with Gardner Minshew, it was a train wreck. They tried to run the Jalen Hurts offense with Gardner Minshew. If Shane Steichen's this fabulous play caller, how come that thing looked like a shit show? You mean to tell me you couldn't come up with a guy's skill set in Minshew that could have had a better game plan? You couldn't beat the shitty Saints? Come on, man. Play calling. We'll see. I'll make this point to you about Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis. That thing's either going to be a grand slam or one of the biggest colossal Chernobyl meltdowns ever. And the way that the quarterback decision-making with Jim Irsay and the Colts has been since Andrew Luck, which side of the aisle do you think you're on? That it's going to be a success or failure? See, Jim Irsay still thinks and still guards Andrew Luck shooing away Washington, which never was really anything. But he's so hurt that guy decided to walk away from the game that he's still trying to replace him instead of going out and doing what Howie did. That's what makes what Howie Roseman has done with the organization 10 times better than anything that they've done in Dallas. He's replaced Andy Reid. They've replaced Chip Kelly. They replaced Doug Peterson. They're on Nick Sirianni. They got off of McNabb. They got off of Wentz. They got off of Foles. They got on to Jalen. When you can consistently keep your game plan and the way you do business rolling, like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh does that. Well, one thing about the Steelers now that I'm not a fan of is that now it's all about Mike Tomlin not having a losing season. Since when did the standards in Pittsburgh lower? I thought it was about winning Lombardi trophies instead of guarding whether or not Mike Tomlin has a losing season or not. I would tell you that Mike Tomlin probably thinks he's got it. What is Mike Tomlin in the postseason? 8-9? That's going to hold back Mike Tomlin from getting to the Hall of Fame. Mike Tomlin's not a Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Fame coach with an 8-9 record in the postseason. Marty Schottenheimer was a better coach. Well, wait. What are you talking about? He won a Super Bowl. Really? Okay. won a Super Bowl. So every coach that won it. So what, Brian Billick, a Hall of Famer too? Is John Harbaugh a Hall of Famer? Come on, man. Got to win, dog. Shane will get Kansas City is what Philly is in 2000 should have been. Bill Cowher didn't win for 15 straight. I don't know what that means. Steelers don't have a quarterback, but they have a culture. Okay? Tyler goes, Dan, what are your thoughts on the running backs that the Eagles have to go against this year? Patriots have a good run game. I don't know what Dalvin Cook's situation is. That's a good comment because the run defense is an Achilles heel to the defense, and it's been 2 years in a row for the Eagles. Dalvin Cook will know more if he's going to be in Minnesota week 2. Dalvin Cook is a heck of a back, but last year the Eagles stuffed him. The Bucs, I think the Bucs are on. See, the Bucs and the Rams did something that we're cool with. Are you? The Bucs are going to have a couple years of shitty football. So are the Rams. So what they did was they cashed 2 or 3 years of shitty football in for a Super Bowl. You okay with that? I am. I'm okay with that. Hey, if I have 2-3 years of shitty football, but I won a Super Bowl, I'll be cap hell kind of a little bit. Buccaneers got to get away from some of the shitty contracts, rolling it back. Same thing with the Rams. Rams gave up all those draft picks. I'm okay. They won Super Bowls. Both teams won Super Bowls. Everyone knew it. So at the end of the day, as a fan, I'm all right with it. I mean, hey, look, we're in a rebuild with the Rams and the Bucs. They won Super Bowls. Price you pay. For shitty management, in a way, and old school management. See, Howie doesn't do it that way. Significant game Belichick won as head coach without Brady. Okay? The AFC Championship game, the first Super Bowl, Drew Bledsoe won it, and then he went back to Brady. Bledsoe was the quarterback in the AFC title game. Brady got hurt. Won an AFC title game with Drew Bledsoe. Okay? So, this schedule, this year, 2 Super Bowl appearances, Tomlin Hall of Fame, 8 and 9 in the postseason. Look what he's done over the last decade in the postseason. They've done nothing. Actually, losing record. Losing record. Doc Rivers, you think Doc's a Hall of Fame coach? He won an NBA championship. He's about to get bounced by the Celtics. You think Doc's a Hall of Fame coach? He's about to get fired. Doc Rivers, is he a Hall of Fame coach? He won an NBA championship with Garnett and them dudes. Okay? He won a title. Hey. So Doc's a Hall of Famer to that knowledge. Okay. Doc Rivers had the greatest era in Clipper basketball. Clipper basketball, the land of Olowokandi and all them stiffs that Elgin Baylor brought in. But yet he had, even Larry Brown, he had better years than Larry Brown did there. But he sucked. Won a championship. He was great in Orlando. Actually been pretty good in the postseason here. You got 2 milk carton guys at times. Shit, James Harden's played more like the NBA MVP than Embiid has. I mean, James Harden's actually won 2 ball games for the Sixers. Them 40-point games. He's actually played more like an MVP. Just my observation watching him. Okay? Dallas. and the 49er game are the games this year that you're going to have to win. If you sweep the Cowboys and you beat the Niners, you're clearly hosting the NFC title game. In my opinion, you're hosting the title game at Lincoln Financial. I still think, look, I think you're going to end up something like 12-5, somewhere in that room, barring any injuries. Knock on wood on that. I don't think here's the difference so far on May 12th. Now, again, June 1's coming around the corner here. June 1's coming around the corner, so Howie's probably still got it. He's got another shopping day yet. Howie's been shopping 3 times, right? Beginning of free agency, the draft. Okay, after the draft, signing those. He's got one more day, I think, June 1. And he takes the shopping cart out, and he starts looking around for guys. 14-3 at worst. A lesser ball team, and he thinks 14-3. How you doing? Hey, keep it up, JoJo. Hey, believe me, they love you at Lincoln Financial. You're the guy. You're the guy that buys the $18 hot dogs and the $28 beers. Keep it up, babe. That's exactly the guy. Hey, Hulk Hogan loves you. You're the guy, Hulk Hogan. He loves you too. I say 12-5 too, CJ. I'm only kidding, JoJo. It's all good, man. You're a good fan. It's all good. If Hurts didn't fumble in the Super Bowl, the Eagles probably win. You think so, Skid? Jonathan Gannon in that second half had defensive backs running into one another. The only thing that stopped the Kansas City Chiefs from scoring was the clock ran out. They'd still be scoring. If it was a never-ending clock, they'd still be scoring. I've never seen more DBs run into each other in a significant game. The 2 Pro Bowl-type players running into another the way they did in that second half. It was a shit show on defense, bro. Whoa, was that bad. Patrick Mahomes, do you know he had 1 incompleted pass in the second half? And it was a throwaway. Yeah, it was a throwaway. Okay? If defense did their job, Hurts wins that game. Well, that's what I'm telling you. Wait a minute. If Hurts did his job, okay? But your coaching sucked. So when you get into a game with a good quarterback and a good coach, what are you telling me? Even though you have the better team, every time that you have been, and I'm talking Eagles, have been in a better situation, and yet the coaching out-coaches you at times. Dude, how did Washington beat you last year? Who was the quarterback? Was it Tyler Heineke? Who was the quarterback that beat you last year? And you had no excuses. Hurts was healthy. Who was the guy that beat you for the Commanders? What quarterback was that guy? It was just a well-coached game by Washington. You kicked the shit out of them in the first one. They came back and took you out. Turnovers? It was the field, I'm sure. You know, hey, you always have to look for excuses for failure, don't you? I love guys like that. Well, I know why I failed. Because the guy sucked in front of me. He didn't help me out. My coaching sucked. Yeah, I know. I get it. Okay. The field won the game, they say. Yeah. Oh, Quez. I love me some Quez, baby. Oh, hey, have you guys seen this video of Jalen Carter on the internet? Now, I want to look at some Thursday night games, but I got a comment about Jalen Carter here. And, yeah, I told you I love this kid. And I agree with Jason Kelsey. Okay? But I got a comment to make about this guy. I'm about to jump in this kid's ass here a little bit. Son, I want you to look at me because I know everyone at the Nova Care Center watches my show. Tracy, kid, don't fuck this up. Don't mess this up. I'll explain. Hour number 2, hit the like button. Keep it here on the National Football Show.
Do you stream on a Roku, Fire